up, so we're good there. We're
Yeah, let's
good
not have that
there.
happen again.
And yeah, we're back. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. My Streamlabs
Alright.
closed. It will be a two-parter. We apologize.
Quote 1.
Yeah. Anywho,
On a screen without
She
a
looks
goddamn
at the rest
technical
of them.
issue.
as I was saying, we will arise from this moment, and we will avenge the Brothers in Arms as well, save the rest of this world. We will rise up as phoenixes and burn through the enemies and hope to succeeding in the end. No, not hope. We will. Pack up your things. We need to head out and go to the next location. That is your orders. Good job today, men. She goes and leaves with Courtney staying up behind and aiding them, and you guys hear in the background a loud roar of cheers.
While most people will probably be too busy doing their own things, you do, if anyone paid attention to Solace after all that, after they let the rest of the group, you would notice that she would have been standing by the kneeling by the battlefield, almost seeming to be in a trance almost. Not many, you can probably people that understand Draconic would know that she's muttering a prayer for the lost.
I do speak Draconic, so I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Same here, but I'm busy putting out fires on the other side.
I'm not going to type out what she said. It's just, a prayer for those that have gone, that have fallen.
That's fair.
I mean, I had the ceremony spell.
for hundreds of people. And they don't have bodies, that's the thing. They don't have bodies, they faded from existence.
I think Sola has ceremony too, actually, but...
Yeah. Like, yeah.
As paladins, we get ceremony.
Yeah, but there is no body. There's something to bury. They just faded. They're from the future. Their deaths mean these events have changed things, so they as they are now never existed.
Does it mean we can't mourn them?
No, I'm saying this out of game. We can warn them.
Yeah. But
unfortunately their erasure from time is proof that we're changing things. As morbid as that sounds.
Evelyn will come up to you, Elrin. Before she goes back to see the destruction in the camp. Father. I want to speak to you for a moment. You can see that, you can see that she is about to break down a little bit.
Before she can say anything, he just reaches forward and just embraces her in a hug. I know.
Was it like? The day that you had to watch Delsanda and Marionette die, and all the soldiers then.
Very similar. Sometimes victories can be very hollow, but you can never let it get to you. Otherwise, you'll forget about what you're fighting for.
I see. I suppose not every commander is tough enough, though, and everybody has to break down a little bit. She goes, and she steps away, and she wipes her tears. At some point...
As she's walking away, he calls her, Evelyn, I'm proud of you. You're a strong leader. You lead these men through fights that sometimes they know they won't get out of, but they'll fight alongside you until the bitter end. That is a true leader.
And you see a cheerful yet sorrowful smile go across your face. Thank you, Father. It's high time that we get this place packed. It's high time we get this place packed up. And she goes and leaves.
He just turns back around and he just for a moment he just turns back and looks at the battle that Evelyn was at, just looking over what happened, or what transpired, and then he starts heading back, helping prepare the to start moving the camp.
All right, Korvac, what would you like
Yes.
to do during this time?
He's currently messing with his snout as he face planted when he fell off the wall, threw himself off
Fair
the
enough.
wall.
Oh god, okay, I don't mean to
Alright.
take away, but you know that thing in Looney Tunes where Daffy Duck's beak just goes reverse? It's
Oh
like on
my
the opposite side
God,
of it.
yes.
I'm kind of imagining that for quarterback right now, and I know it's wrong, but I just can't get that out of my head.
All right.
Actually,
Razmira.
when you get the chance, there's one more thing I want to do, but I'll let everyone else go first.
All right. Razmira, what do you do during this time?
She's not going to really engage with anybody. She's just spectating everybody before she goes into like a mini hiding episode.
Go hide in the temple.
She's gonna go hide somewhere for a bit.
All right. Garrick.
He was actually gonna talk to Rasmira, so I guess stealth versus perception.
I guess.
Yep.
And I'm gonna give myself 1 second, wait. Ladies first.
Oh my
My
God.
passive beats that.
The passive beats that.
So I assume I find her.
Yeah. You find her just walking away from the whole thing, and she's going to leave camp for a bit.
He'll follow. He needs to talk to her, and he was gonna do it in private anyway, so.
When she finally decides to like sit down, she's going to sit leaning against a tree. She's gonna put her elbows on her knees, cross her arms, and just rest her head on her arms. In total silence.
It's only been a short time. How are you holding up?
Well, for all things considered. And you decided to follow me. What do you want?
The question at hand is, what do you want to do?
To be left alone for a while.
I will. After this. Do you
Then
want?
what do you want?
Do you want to return home?
Do you mean back to Alamari?
Wherever you consider home.
Then Goodell.
Do you want that right now? You'll have to go through Alamari to get to Goodell, regardless.
No.
What do you want? Not to be left alone, here and now.
I don't know.
You have a choice. You can leave. No one will fault you. You sustained a heavy injury. No one will think less of you. You can you can wait and see this through on the sideline. Or you can make the hard choice. You can continue with us. It won't be easy. You're gonna have to work harder than you've ever worked in your life. And the only way for you to continue with us, to work that hard, is if you want it. I'm not going to pity you or have here. That's not what needs to happen. You need to choose. Continue with us. Work hard get better. Take whatever time you need. But if it gets to the point that you are not willing to help, then you're better off returning home. The choice is yours. He turns around. I know what decision I want you to make, but I can't make it for you. If you continue with us, it has to be because you want to.
She doesn't say a word.
I figured, and he walks off.
Alright. Does Rasmir do anything else while she is in solitude for the time?
She's going to take the time to think things over.
Okay. Solace.
Yes.
After you're done with your prayer, you were with that healing, you were able to revive an additional 10 people. Unfortunately, that was all you were capable of doing, and those were the ones who got lucky, who only survived in the last bit of the attack. What do you want to do after you're done with that?
She would return to the camp, and upon seeing the people that are well, first of all, she'd go see if there are any more fires that need putting out, because she does have control flames.
The troll water spell lasts for 10 minutes, so I think you probably got.
Yeah,
Pretty much
there's
all of
no
them.
fires. There's no more fire.
Right.
Unfortunately, there is a lot of smoke that is rising through the air because of this entire fight.
So is Korvac still at the camp?
He is sitting on the stair steps of his temple that he erected out of thin air.
Yeah, because he can do that.
Clerics, man.
Thanks. So she just walks up to him, just kind of looks at him as if like, mind if I sit with you? She doesn't say anything, she just gives him this look.
He go ahead and nods his head as he's cleaning the dirt off of his snoot.
She screw off, Snow. She just kind of here, let me. She can see it better, so she helps him clean the dirt off.
He's kind of like
Hold still, you're never going to get this off on your own.
sorry. Oh, by the way, the temple is kind of plain in look. It looks like just the standard temple.
Yeah, I figured.
Alright.
Yeah, she does, after getting the dirt off, because she can actually see it clearer than you can.
Has to go cross-eyed to see that.
Yeah, exactly. She can actually get rid of it.
If you guys need to mute yourselves.
Yep.
Out of character, Korvac, we have a truce to punch them all in the face.
Huh?
They're memeing about Solace shipping. Anyway,
Oh.
I will punch
Yeah, I
all of you in the face. Anyway,
I'm not laughing, for the record.
anyway, I wanted to thank you. You may have saved all of our lives today.
Well, it was a gamble, and I took a good fall for it. he kind of tries to joke a little bit.
There's hardly a fall from grace, and you know it.
I mean, I could have stuck the landing better.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yes, well, I'm not as dexterous as Elrin. Or
One
Garrick.
tends not to be when you're wearing stuff like this. She nudges, she like gently pokes his chain, like the chain part of his plate. Because obviously there's chainmail under the plate mail. That's how plate works. You cover the
Sure.
gaps in the armor with chains. He just kind of pokes at his armor basically. She's obviously no better because she also has no dexterity and wears full plate armor. So
Fries and half plate. Sad half plate noises.
yeah.
Well, definitely makes me a good viable option for taking hits in the front.
As strong as you are, I don't think any of us wanted to feel the sting of that mace. I mean, Garrett's one of the strongest of all of us, and even he buckled under it. I was right next to them. It was savage. Such
Well,
power, I'd never seen anything like it.
I can only thank the gods for aiding me in my pursuits.
Must be nice to still have a god.
He gives her a bit of a, I guess, like, cross look. Like he doesn't know what to think.
The one I've grown up to worship all my life is dead, Garrett. Not Garrett, it's like Korvac. We saw it happen. I don't know what to think anymore.
You have all but to stay true to yourself. You are a paladin, no?
She nods.
Your power comes through your devotion to what your beliefs are.
I still believe in them. It's just hard not to doubt when the being you've given your life to, you find out was killed long ago.
You know, sometimes, even if that being does not quite exactly exist, there is still some part of him in everyone, especially to those who still believe.
That's corny as fuck and you know it.
Well, yes, but I am corny as fuck, so.
She chuckles.
I mean, helps too. This whole mess.
Dude. Thank you, Corvac.
Especially having doubts. If the gods will even succeed if this hag gets her way. We have to deal with this monstrosity of a... whatever it is.
And that's an insult to aberrations.
Abomination.
She's too evil. I'd say she's too evil to even be called a devil. And that's saying something. Devils, demons, they seem like righteous crusaders compared to her.
You're not wrong. But I have punishing those who sue in power for wickedness.
Do you think we'll succeed?
Hopefully, she will get her comeuppance one way or another.
She looks out ahead at the. What time of day is it currently?
It's around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, dude.
And she looks up to the sun on its way towards the. Its way towards its kind of come up with some corny way of describing it. It moves across the sky towards its destined resting place for the night. She looks at it for a moment before turning back to the Dragonborn and says, "Thank you, Cormac. You've given me to think about."
Beautiful. Other people would take my advice too.
Don't get too ahead of yourself. You're not perfect. She then,
I never claimed to be perfect.
just before you could respond, she actually stands and when she says, "Don't," I never said you were perfect. She stands up and boops you on the snoot, just to remind you you're the one that fell on your face.
He gives a slight chuckle as he stands up too and heads into the temple, which let's see, it says it smells of burning incense. Let's see, what's a good smell for incense?
I'd be tempted to joke around and say dragon's blood because I think that's genuinely a nice scent, but like, I don't think it smells like dragon's blood in D&D. I mean, there's a scent outside, in the real world called dragon's blood.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it would smell like actual dragon blood from D&D, but...
How about tea tree? Yeah, it smells like tea tree in there.
Well, I'm from British land, so I know what that smells like. If it smells like tea, then I know exactly what it smells like.
Yeah.
I know tea tree is an actual thing.
Yeah.
Tea tree smells too clean.
You're not even here, Asmira. Shut up.
All right.
It's not even yours. She looked on at him for a while and kind of like, "May I join you?"
Oh, there's plenty of room as he gestures outwards to the huge ass fucking temple.
I meant in prayer.
Oh, sure, why not? And I guess they spend some time praying to whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Religious classes. Yay!
Have you heard the,
I mean,
the
shoot,
wor- Have
actually-
you heard the word of my grandmother Nami?
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you guys do want to heal yourselves or anything, doing it inside the temple is actually better because you do get extra hit points.
Eric will camp outside just because he wants to keep. Yeah.
Whenever any creature in the temple regains hit points from a spell of first level or higher, the creature regains additional hit points equal to my wisdom modifier, which is of course 5.
With that,
I
Alright.
have
Little
no
extra.
spell slots, so what's the point?
I've got a few.
After.
oh wait, you skipped Elrin.
Oh, Elrin. All right. Elrin.
One last thing he was doing was he was gonna wait until he was. I assume that he would have seen that Garrick and Rasmira would have left, but he was gonna wait until Garrick came back.
Okay.
Talk to him.
Garrett comes back.
You'd see Elrin waiting for you near one of the walls. You know, I was worried there for a second with that speech. You tend to put things a little too blunt, but I saw how they acted at the very end and what you said.
They don't need false platitudes, Elrin. They need the truth. As painful as it is.
Let me take a wild guess. And you probably said the same thing to her as he looks towards the trees where you were coming from.
She has a choice to make. That's all. I hope she stays with us, but I won't hold it against her if she doesn't.
How is she?
She lost an eye, so not well. Combine that
I'm
with
sure.
Combine that with her self-doubt. She can grow from this. She just has to make the choice. That's all.
Well, We'll be here if she needs us. I know that much.
Can't force it on her. She has to make it.
No. Well, it is. You're right. It is up to her.
Hmm.
But there's one thing that I did notice.
Hmm?
You probably noticed it too. I don't exactly see Korvac anywhere, especially near her.
It was a battlefield, chaotic. Nothing to really concern yourself with.
Right. As he stops talking and walks away.
Before you walk away, Courtney comes up to you both. Hi, Dad. Hi, Uncle Elrin.
Courtney?
She kind of scratches the back of her head. We're having a meeting in an hour or so to decide our next move. If you guys want to join us.
Ellerin looks to her and quietly nods.
Take care of it. I need to wait for someone.
As he looks back towards you, Garrick, he smirks and says, "You do that." As he walks off with Courtney.
Before Courtney goes and leads with you, she goes and gives Garrick a hug. I'm glad you're safe, Dad.
Hmm.
Jonathan, he's recovering. He's being healed as we speak by some clerics. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot he took a he took a run to it.
He'll be out of it for a little bit of time. On the good note, though, the poisons weren't worn off, so he has a high chance of survivability. So, figured I'd let you know.
He's stronger than you give him credit for. Kid's a true hero.
Trust me.
So are all of you.
I've known that for a while. Figured he pulled through this entire thing alive. Oh, I didn't think he'd take that quite a beating, but that's what we kind of signed up for.
Courtney,
We're expecting it anyhow. Yes?
going to war means that you aren't going to go out alive. And what's worse, you might be the only one who does. You can hope that your brother will survive and he can help you. But you can't let it dominate you. You have to be ready to let each other go. This is war. It doesn't care for family or emotion. All that comes is blood of the innocent and slaughter. You have to be ready to let each other go should you fall.
Courtney... She has a mixture of both she has a couple of conflicting thoughts and emotions between a twinge of sadness, a little bit of anger, but at the same time a large amount of resolve.
I'm not expecting you to do it right away. It takes time, and even when you prepare yourself, it still hurts. It will never not hurt. But you can't stop yourself because the other fell. This is war.
Well,
you have to be a soldier.
That much I do know. We're getting to that point where we'd be both ready to accept it, but one of these days it's gonna come out of the blue and hit us like a tank. But
it's inevitable.
We both have discussed about this, and we both have agreed that we'll try our best to move forward past each other if one of us shall fall in battle, and try to help avenge ourselves in the end.
It's inevitable that you'll cease. Even if you somehow find a way to defy the sands of time, we all die eventually. All you can do is just all you can do is savor what time you have left, whether it's a day or a century.
She goes and puts a hand on your shoulder. Yeah, we know that. We're prepared for when that time comes as well. That doesn't mean going and getting you killed either. That would defeat the whole purpose.
The mission is to stop Cassandra. That's all that matters. If we can get as many people out alive as possible, that's fine. But as long as she's gone, your mission is a success. Doesn't matter if I die. So long as she's gone, that's all that matters.
Our past selves wouldn't exactly agree with that statement. And unfortunately, neither do we, as we stand right here, right now.
This is war, kid.
We want to try to at least
You don't
get as much of you guys out alive as possible. Even if that means we die first.
You don't get that choice. You can't control everything.
You're right, we can't. She goes and walks away, and she turns her head back towards you one last time. Doesn't mean we can't give it a goddamn try. Besides, this is war. And it's never gonna change. And she walks off.
Garrick is gonna camp outside in the camp area. He's waiting for Rasmira
Alright.
to hear her decision.
We'll get to that in a moment. Korvac, Solus, Courtney would go and speak to you both and ask if you guys want to attend the meeting.
Solus would politely decline. I've never been one for politics.
It's quite alright,
Hello?
Solus.
Sorry.
We understand quite well. Well, we figured the invitation was still out for you. You are a welcome member of everyone here. Besides, you fought alongside our dad, as well as our aunts and uncles here. At least deserve a position that much. Besides, she puts a hand. She goes and she kind of puts her hand into her hand up into a fist and kind of lightly, like, jabs her fist into you. Besides, you are a great friend to everyone we knew, and you are a great fighter. So
I can't really take the
Rest-
credit for this one though. Your dad
no,
didn't.
but
Your dad didn't save the day this time.
yeah, that
Although
may be
I'd say-
true. But
Although I say, he's got one hell of a hard head.
tell me about it. Besides, regardless of that, though, you still helped the rest of them burn through to victory. That I owe you at least that much. She goes and gives you a salute.
Solus salutes back.
And what about you, Uncle Korvac? Do you want to attend the meeting as well?
Deacon?
Correct me, because I wasn't there.
They're going to
What's this whole meeting thing about?
Basically playing their next step,
It's where they're going to move their location at.
as well as just their next step in plans in general.
I take it. Just going to participate.
It's optional.
You're gonna participate? It's optional.
Like Garrick or Rasmira or whoever. Are they participating as well?
You
No.
don't know. You don't know in game though, unless you
Hey,
ask
Court-
Courtney.
Courtney would tell you that neither of them aren't going to participate.
He scratches us and if you're planning to stay here in Alamari, I will need to participate to make sure.
Of course, that's why we were gonna bring. That's why we were hoping that you'd join us as well. We would like to stay in Alimari, at least in a different location, and set up another small
In
base
Boracari.
of operation in Boracari.
It,
Whether it's in Alamari, or within the Alamarian territory, or elsewhere.
Well, if stage a new base in Alamari, that'll be a little too convenient.
Well, we were thinking about some of the mountainsides again towards the south, towards the northeast, towards the sea area, if anything. Considering those areas, from what we remember, are a bit remote. I mean, sure, there's a city nearby, but I have a lot of isolated forest lands that typically people don't go and travel to.
Yes, between Nassau and Mount Ural, as well as Mount Uzaf.
More so Mount Uzoth. We do not stick around Mount Ural any longer than, well, we have to right now. And considering
'cause
you
that's where
guys
they're-
have a fort nearby under your guys' control, we figured it'd be in our best interest to move out of here before
How many people are
we're
left?
discovered. Around 160.
Okay. Also, I have a question for you, DM.
Yes.
Where is the mention of the dragon gods at?
Like their exact location or the temples?
Yeah, because I know there's a temple at the peaks of the Nassau Mountains,
We
right?
went there.
Yeah.
The dragon god of time was not there at all.
No, not
Okay.
the dragon god
No,
time.
Not time. Not time. Give me a sec. I'm gonna go back to my notes.
Moon.
Moon. Dragon god of the moon wasn't there. The guardian was there. But we did learn that there was a map in there that's magically enchanted with a certain gem or key type device. You can find all of the dragon gods in all of Borkari. It's somewhere in the Dwarven Kingdoms, which is suffering from chaotic stuff right now.
If we can kill this abomination that has recently plagued us, then the mountains north of Alamari or Mount Uzoth will be great places, and I can help you establish the base there as well. But once we do defeat the devil, we have to pick up on some more information over there in the Dwarven lands.
I see. Well then, I suppose that will be something that can be brought up with Evelyn. But before that, Solus.
Fury?
Yes.
Yep, there we go.
There is one last thing I must inform you about before I take my leave to go and help set up the meeting. Garrick would like to speak with you.
Where is he currently?
Where'd you left me? Outside the temple, at the precipice of the forest.
Outside the presence of the forest. Sweet.
I'll meet him there then.
All right. Then, Uncle Corvact, we will see you in an hour.
Of course.
And she goes and dismisses herself after giving you another salute, Corvac.
Solus would go and find Garrick.
Garrick just
He nods his head over.
Garrick is setting up his tent outside.
Heard you wanted to speak to me, Garrick.
I never really checked in with you. Ever since what we discovered from the father. How are you holding up?
It's difficult. Already had a talk with Korvac about it.
Well then, I can offer you a gift. Knowledge of events that have happened to me recently.
Oh?
Your god isn't totally dead. Remnants of her still exist.
Solus's eyes light up at the mention.
Kind of funny how Corvac knows basically the same thing.
Yeah, but Garrick actually knows.
She still get lips?
In a form. She spoke to me when when Cassandra tried to seal me in my mind. Not complete, simply a part. It might be possible to bring her back, or at least a form of her.
What's your passive again, Garrick?
Passive perception is a 18.
Yeah, you won't even need to roll to notice tears starting to form in the corners of her eyes.
Okay.
Just because you've got grey hair doesn't mean you can call me kid. She's half chuckling, half crying.
Fine then. Solace. I don't offer false hope. It's only a possibility. All I know for sure is that she's partly alive. But I need to know from you. If there's a chance you can resurrect her, will you do it? Or will you consider another option?
She opens her mouth as if to say something, then closes it and thinks for a moment. That would depend on what she wanted.
For the sake of argument, let's say that she entrusted her power to you. Do you think you would take that?
She cut out. You cut out for a second there.
If she offered to give you her power to make you the new goddess of the sun, would you accept it?
Her mouth hangs open for a moment. I cannot answer that.
Good. You didn't lie. Do you know what the greatest folly of my mother, Cassandra, Katsumi, whatever she calls herself, is?
Aside from just being the literal incarnation of evil.
It was that she thinks she could play God. She stole all of the powers, and look what happened to the world she inhabited. It turned to ruin. The people she pretended to care about turned to ash. Only she remained in a lifeless world devoid of color and joy. We're not meant to be gods. I detest anyone who seeks the power of a god when they do not deserve it. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying that you could fall down an all too familiar path. Do you want to be better than her? I look you dead in the eye.
I will. Solace looks you back in the eye. I will be better, because I will not give in to temptation like that.
Good. I know you have a very narrow worldview, and I know it's hard to believe in a god that died. I don't typically, even though I'm related to them, I do not worship the gods. Mortality is our greatest strength. We get to live, we have to cherish the time we have. We grow old and we die. And in that death, our life has meaning. To exist as she does, as any god does, is nothing more than an empty existence with power and not much else. You want to be better than her? Live your life. Help your god. Cherish your allies and your friends, your family. Detest those who would take that from you. Be someone she could never be.
I will.
Good.
And I'll leave you with it. I'll leave you with this to think about as well. There must be something in this for the gun. Otherwise, they'd all be as There must be something they find worth it in their own life.
True. But I hope to never understand that. I don't mean to lecture you. I simply just want to let you know that there was a chance that you can right the wrongs of the past. You
In
deserve
response,
to.
I ask you. In response, I ask you a question.
Hmm.
What if, for the sake of the world, you were forced to take that man?
Only as a last resort. I would never take it willingly. I don't seek power like that. No one should wield that kind of power. And if I ever did, I would never interfere with this world. That's too much power for anyone. I only do it in response if it's the only option available. The only true option available. If there is another way, I will find it and I will take it. I do not wish to be a god. I simply wish to be a man.
Let's work on out of character joke. We better find your mate then, so we can split you in half. Get rid of your angelic side.
Angelic and god are different.
You set yourself up for that one.
Fair
though.
enough. Fair enough. But I rather live and die as a mortal than to ever exist as she did.
Then what? Then one last thought. Remember, we, except for those damned, we are all truly immortal. For the soul never dies.
Wise words.
Garrick,
I look to you.
that was just like a sign off. Yeah,
Yeah.
she nods to you.
Yep,
Garrick?
Yep. Solus. Have a good night, kid. And I finish up.
Have a good night, old man.
I give a smirk and I finish setting up my camp.
Alright. I'm gonna cut to the,
Solus smirks back, by the way.
Yep.
But also going to set up her. She was probably set up.
I
her
have
in
wanted
the-
to tell
in
you
the,
that ever since Garrick found out, because I've wanted to tell you that ever since Garrick had that vision.
I bet.
anywho.
With also with Cormac's permission, she would. Solus would probably want to sleep inside the temple, just because it makes her feel safe. That's with Garrick's permission, though.
With Korvac's permission.
Yeah, sorry, Cormac, motherfucker.
Korvac, give her permission.
Wait, what?
He's asking for. Solus is
Yes,
asking for permission.
Solus, you have permission to leave this, the
Yeah.
temple.
Wait,
Bitch,
No.
don't tell me what to do!
one second.
No. I said, because Garrick mentioned he's setting up camp, that Solus would want to sleep in the temple.
Yeah,
if
she's asking
Cormac
you-
is okay with
yeah.
that.
Oh no, he designated that everyone can
Yep.
enter and go freely. I mean, he's not gonna,
I'm not sleeping in
he's
the
not gonna
temple.
say no.
I'm not sleeping in the temple because I don't want to, because I'm not allowed in there. I'm not sleeping in the temple because I'm waiting for someone. That's all.
Well, it's still just polite.
Yeah, it's polite. Hey,
Yeah.
Solus is polite. I've got to respect that.
Well,
Ellerin walks.
when
Ellerin
she's
walks
not
to
in-
the
when
temple.
she's not in the middle of a fight.
At the end of the night, Ellerin walks into the temple. Korvac, I'm staying in here whether you like it or not.
Or he could just walk in and be like, "This temple nice," and then he fucks right off.
all right.
Alright.
No, this is
Alright.
proof that
No,
Eloquent is basically a cat. Walks into temple. This nice. I sleep here now.
We technically, since I've been making the party into animals, he is a cat, so he could do whatever
Yeah.
he
I
wants.
sleep here
Okay,
All right.
alright. We're gonna continue real quick.
So
gonna go-
Ellerin,
we're gonna-
as no, I was gonna do so. Okay,
Oh.
As you knock on the door and you state that you're gonna sleep there, you see Korvac open the huge door, and you see him wearing a black onesie with wings.
What? What? the
No, make
fuck?
it pink.
No, he looks at you. There's all sorts of emotions on his face. He's just like, what are you wearing?
It was a
It's
condition by
extreme, buddy.
Nami.
I'm not
It
going to
was-
say that. I'm not going to say that she was wrong to do that, but I'm not going to say she was exactly right.
I mean, if I can erect a temple that's warm and nicely lit inside. Out of thin air. It's worth it. His face is just like why?
He's
I'm
his
too old for
he's
this shit.
he's thinking like, God, I may be young for an elf, but I'm too fucking old for this.
This is the reason why he went
Oh,
prematurely grey.
With this, Courtney will come up to the temple and let you know, Korvac, that it's time for the meeting. Uncle Korvac,
No. If she was trying to speak through the door, he would have changed. Be like, nope. Fuck that shit. He will use divine intervention to fucking purge that shit out of her mind if he needs to. If she comes at that moment.
Uncle Korvac, I need to speak with you. Hello?
Just give me a minute.
Oh.
He,
Wait, is Elrin on the outside of the room?
He's inside the temple.
Okay.
Yeah. She just sees Korvac open the door and him messing with his belt. It's like, anyways, let's get to business.
Right. Yeah, let's go do that. You guys go down there. Most of the troops are crowded around, aside from the medics. And there's the map of Borikari is spread out. Prince Korvac, Prince Elrin, it's good to see both of you guys again. Thank you for coming to the meeting, by the way. Now then, we are here to discuss our next plan of movement and our next plan of attack. Ideally, we would want to try to find the location of whoever caused this entire attack, someone by the name of Thanalis, and bring him to justice. However,
We've
we're in
dealt
no
with him
condition.
before, Evelyn.
We're in no condition to do that right at this moment. So, for now, we have a couple of locations. We're thinking maybe residing somewhere on the northeastern coast of Borikari towards Mount Yuzath, hiding it within the mountains of Nassau. We're trying to find a place towards the west, near the western temple. That's out over by the mountains, and between. That's the borderline between the Dwarven kingdoms and Borikari. At least somewhere remote.
Elrin will look at the map real quick, and he'll look to Korvac and say, Korvac, is there anything at Mount? How do you pronounce that? Zoigor? Zoigor?
Yeah, Zoiger.
Zoigor. I'm just saying Zoigor.
No.
He'll look to Korvac and say, Korvac, do you know if there's anything at Mount Zoigor?
You would know that there isn't anything there. It is like Mount Ural and Yuzath is a volcano, but it is not an active volcano. There's
Okay,
plenty
it's a
of good
dormant
hunting.
volcano.
There's plenty of good hunting there, and there's only like one small village located on the western side of the mountain.
What is that, Deacon? You cut out.
And that town over there is controlled by Alamari, especially after the whole thing with the dark fallen god. Well, because I remember you saying that after the crusade that he did and how he purged everything, how Tenok City was like.
Yeah,
very rough
that's
spot,
over
so
at Mount
he took it
Yuzath.
over.
I'm talking about the little village over at I'm pretty sure it's
Zoiger.
over at Mount Zoiger.
Oh, I don't
That's
see any. Oh,
It's Zoidberg.
No,
I thought-
it's there.
I thought you were talking about
No.
Uzoth. No.
There is
shit.
a small village there, but it's under the Kingdom of
Okay, I thought
Avenel's
you were talking
control.
about Uzoth. My bad.
No. That part is Alamari territory, though. Up until Fort Muvoy.
Yeah. Well, there's really not much at Zoigyar, except for a small town a little bit away from the base of the mountain. It is owned by Avenel, I do believe.
Well,
I
then if
hate
that.
to butt in, but I am exhausted. So,
All
if
right.
there's nothing major else going to happen, I think I'm going to head off.
All right, you go ahead, Fury.
Have a
No.
good night. Good...
You go ahead,
good night.
Fury. You have a good night, mate.
Thank you. Hey, at least nice to get the combat out of the way.
And plus, I really do
Oh,
want
yeah.
to tell you about Tao
Hey,
Xian.
And I was here for once, yay!
Well, also, I really
Yay.
want to tell you about Tao Xian because that was
You did
important for you to
good,
know.
So, anyways, so if
Good
when
night,
you tell
everyone.
Ellerin,
Have a good night.
when you
Night,
tell
chat.
Ellerin that, good night. So when you tell Ellerin that, he goes, probably not. I think it would be a little bit better if we at least had you in what you say, familiar territory.
So if you wish to be within, well, allied territory, the Nassau Mountain chain, as well as Mount Uzoth, will be better options.
Nassau Mountains could work. However, I do feel like it could be a little too much of a rocky terrain.
Rocky terrain for us isn't too bad, but from what I remember reading up on that, is that they do have from time to time blizzards up there. Unfortunately, not every one of us is Dragonborn, so we do have to take an account of winter clothing, heavy ones at that, as well as the weather.
However, there is one more thing I'm concerned about. Korvac, as he looks towards Korvac, I'm going to make the assumption that your mother does, or your father do not know about these children. I do know that we've been trying to keep them rather secret, but I'm going to assume you never told them.
No, I told him.
Meanwhile,
you
at Almari,
I have 4 grandbabies now.
well, other than the relation with those two, he just told them about the group, not the people, because I'm pretty sure that sort of knowledge, yeah, might be fucky wucky. But he told them about the group.
right.
All right.
Only my mother knows, God forbid my father, and she only knows about this as an organization that is helping us to alleviate Cassandra. So she is all for it. I can guarantee you people that.
Okay. I was concerned about the possibility of moving to the Nassau Mountains, as I did see that your mother does frequent patrols. Although now I suppose that that's an option, a bit of a safer option. What to do? Although Evelyn does have a point, I am concerned about the blizzards. Perhaps.
Well, if you are able to clear a sizable spot that would fit 160 people, I can probably help with that.
Do you have something that can help?
As he points to the temple outside the little tent they're hiding in.
How long can you hold that temple up? Is the question.
The temple lasts for 24 hours, but I could teach one of your other clerics here how to use it.
We do have some pretty strong clerics, Prince Korvac, so...
Well, there's one that is
they
most
should be
notable
more
to
than-
me.
Oh?
It was the one that's actually a higher level than him. But knows less than him, so.
Jonathan theoretically could learn it. He does learn cleric spells.
Does he? Oh.
Divine Soul.
True.
Fine soul. Well,
Well,
I'm sure. I'm sure Berman would be more than happy to learn. He's still out currently taking care, helping the wounded. I'm sure. I'm sure Commander Jonathan would be. General Jonathan could be more than capable as well, learning how to construct such a temple. In fact, I think he'd be most thrilled about doing it.
And while within the temple, the butcher stays a form. You can change the lighting as well, and you can make it as
Okay.
no bigger than 120 foot by
Okay.
120 foot.
What was the last thing you guys heard?
Or nothing.
we didn't hear anything. We know that you were
Okay.
like, I'm sure that Jonathan is also eager to learn, but then you cut out and explain the how the temple works.
Okay. Well, that. Well, based on his knowledge of spellcasting and magic, could pick it up quite easily before we get there.
One more thing. I don't. While while resting in the while moving the camp to the Nassau Mountains is very favorable. I do believe that you should also put it. Actually, would we know about Korvac? Would you know if the Nassau Mountains like do they have any sort of shore at all that they can on the other side of the mountains?
Yes, Korvac would know that.
I mean, from the looks of it, yeah, there is plenty of shore sitting behind the mountains.
Hmm.
He would know that there are a couple of small fishing communities, but that's about it. Nothing too major. They are relatively small considering their location.
I think going to the Nassau Mountains would be quite favorable. The temple can deal with the blizzards. Although I do fear that considering that that a lot of these flying creatures attacked us, I am concerned about the possibility that should they attack again, you might have some trouble trying to escape. So I think
Wait a minute.
going.
Hold on that thought there for a second. Prince Eldrin, I have to ask. Where exactly did you guys fight? Well, at the very least, meet the Nihilist first, as of recent.
The last.
Top of the
Where was-
Nassau Mountains, the Western Kingdoms, when we first met him.
You cut out, Garrick. Say that, or Alex, say that again.
Western Kingdoms, when we first met him, as he is now, near the peak of the Nassau Mountains.
She's just talking about it as of recent.
Peak of the
The name
Nassau.
was mentioned
Near the peak,
recently.
near the peaks of the Nassau. Oh.
Yeah.
And I did that I did that purposefully in game. He's like near the peak of the Ness. Oh.
I was hoping that you guys hadn't encountered them there.
Yeah, and now that I
That
think about it, there is
It's probably not going to be the best of places to move, unfortunately, if he knows of that location.
no. If that's the case, then there's probably only one good place you can move, and that is Mount Uzeth. Uzoth.
Well, I mean, what condition is, if he still exists, is Rogoth still? Like, what condition is Rogoth, if he still exists, is in?
He's doing better, I guess you could call it.
Let me guess. The Nihilist?
Was it the Nalus that put him under that sleep spell?
We do not know.
Oh, so okay. I'm not sure. All I know is that he was weakened. Resmira helped him a little bit. He's doing better.
Alright. Well, unfortunately, I don't think he would take too kindly to allow random strangers to, at least this version of him, to sit up at the top of the mountain. And if he's in a weakened condition, it might not be exactly ideal for.
And there's one more thing I'm concerned about in that case. Should the dragon god of the moon happen to return and you are within its domain, I don't think it would take too kindly.
No, I suppose it wouldn't.
And I think the thing gets settled. We need to move the camp towards Mount Uzath.
Prince Korvac, any objections? Any other suggestions?
Mount Uzath is well within our territories. It would not be quite a bother. And you see him like put a finger up to his ear for a second, and then you see they see him like scrunch his eyes like, and then gives a thumbs up.
Alright. Then I have to ask, is there any way we could get some extra supplies from Alamari? Winter clothing for the rest of us.
You see his eyes just scrunching again. Would Alamari have
It's
supplies
a
for
it's
that?
a town.
They would.
Well, have enough spread for 160
There
people.
there are different locations within the Alamari Kingdom that do serve clothing for those who aren't exactly White Dragonborns, considering Borikari is known as a continent for housing both Dragonborns as well as humanoid creatures, or people, or races. Not as much as like say Goodell, or
Kurtzvane.
or I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. Give me a second.
Kurtzvane.
Or Cidria as a whole.
Okay.
But they do it does hold a rather decently large size of Dragonborn races.
Well, we do have quite a few inhabitants that aren't exactly Dragonborn, so maybe we do have plenty of spare winter clothing for you people.
Alright. Well then, if there's any way we can help repay you guys, we'll try to help as best as possible. With that being said, though, next thing that comes through is our plan of actions at the moment. After we get the camp established, we were going to try to investigate the forest at some point if we could get a couple of ships there, but
I doubt they have.
we are
ships.
trying to take a look and see if we can't investigate some of the other draconic temples. At least scout them out and see how they're doing.
If you could, he's thinking. So what was in the forest? Was it like the Edamai, like the groups from like the east? Is it the eastern or western kingdoms? I cannot.
Eastern. We do know that in some of the forests, the sacred forest, there might be there's some ambushes and cultists of an elemental earth god in one of the sacred forests here.
Okay, in the forest, right?
To double check my notes. Give me you can continue. I'll take.
You are Greg. There are people in the sacred fort of Asneth.
Asnef, that was it. That was it. That was the one.
Well, the forest is quite a distance away, but I feel it might be a bit easier if you could focus your manpower on scouting out the temples for us while we go and assist the dwarves with their problems. Then after that,
Right.
maybe we can investigate the forest for you while you gather the information.
Well, thankfully, a good bit of miles outside of the north, out of Valmarian territory, but on the edge of Borikari as continent as a whole. We're gonna go. We had a plan to go and investigate the Dragon God of the Sea, so I guess that'll be our next place to start, and it'll be a good launching point for us in our investigation while you guys are off helping the dwarves.
I hope you bring water breathing.
We're not gonna dare get too close to that. But remember, we don't need the Guardians knowing that we're here. At the very least, we need to make sure that the areas where the dragon gods are typically kept at, or typically reside at, are still there.
Be very mindful. Ellerin pipes up. Be very mindful about should you encounter the Guardians. If they're anything like what Rhaegoth, if they're anything like Rhaegoth, they will might want to spar you. And all I'll say from experience is it's not going to be an easy battle.
Bring a Garrick.
Bring Garrick if you do.
Does everybody?
No, bring a Garrick.
Does anybody have a Garrick buddy with them? No? Okay, let's go now. And judging based on what we know, I really don't think they're gonna want to just spot us. Considering we're not from here, they're gonna want to kill us, if anything.
Which is an even more incentive to avoid them at all costs.
Of course. Well then, she looks at the round of the men. Anybody else have any objections? They all shake their head. I think that we have our next course of action.
It's probably
We'll
gonna.
prepare to leave within. We'll prepare to leave within the next hour to at least make headway there. We'll try to travel around on the edge lines of the Ural Mountains and try to avoid the city as much as possible. Take the outskirts of everything and try to remain hidden as much as we can.
It's probably gonna take a couple of days to get the camp in order, pack up all the supplies, account for everything.
Well, if weather is kind to them, it's gonna take them about a week.
Okay,
If
so.
the weather isn't kind, so they'll have quite a bit to travel.
Well, no, I mean to pack up the camp, to actually disassemble the camp, it'll probably take them like a day or two. Yeah.
Well, not like there's much left of it.
True, but they had to account for what items they had to manage inventory, spread out rations between the troops. Yeah, so that does take a while.
Your best bet is to, while I advise against this, and obviously utilize that orb as much as possible. If you can all move at once and you have that orb with you, you might be a little bit safer.
That we will.
Try not to let it out of your sight, if you know what I mean.
We are going to make sure that orb is safe with us every step of the way. Unfortunately, we are packing a bit lighter than last time, but that's quite alright, I suppose. Unfortunately, how it goes.
Okay. Question.
In any case,
Oh, no, you're not done. I'll wait.
In any case, I think that's all that we need for right now. You are all dismissed. Remember, as you go through packing up the camp, you all have fought well. When we rest again, earn a well-deserved rest. Though we should always remain on our toes as much as possible. We don't know where the enemy is looking, whether or not they are watching our back at every step of the way. And with that,
And-
she goes and dismisses them all.
As she dismisses them, Ellerin he doesn't say anything, but he's next to her. He puts a hand on her shoulder, and just gives a small smile and then walks away.
She smiles back and she goes and tries to help the camp prepare.
Question for Rasmira.
Yes, sir.
Did you take an edge with you? Because if not...
No, I did not. I left an edge with coconut.
Alright, Garrick will take care of an edge then. I just wanted to confirm.
Okay. We're gonna actually cut to, Garrick, waiting. Actually, will Rasmir return?
No.
I need to hop off and
Okay.
get ready for sleep and stuff. So
Okay.
you guys
You
have
go
a
ahead.
good night.
You have a good night.
Alright, you have
Have a night,
yourself a
Bubba.
good night.
I
dude.
assume she said she was going to take a couple of days to herself.
Okay. Repeat. A lot of shit just happened and it's got me all combobulated. So what the hell? Was there a question being asked?
Jacob?
Is Rasmira returning to camp?
No. She is staying
Okay.
out for the night.
Yep, I figured. Garrick will... If the camp has to move and she doesn't return, Garrick will wait, simply because I don't think being abandoned is a good thing, A, and B, if they tell him where they're going, he can catch up with Coconut easily. Anyways, I roll a 22 on animal handling. Do I take good care of Anish?
Well, she
I
loves
see.
you anyway, so.
I just like to make sure the girl gets the bestest treatment.
I say you take... No! You set her on fire while trying to brush her fur! How does that even happen?
Alright, serious. Okay. I take care of
you,
Anish.
you take really good... You take great care of Anish.
Okay.
You brush too hard! Oh!
God damn it, this has become Sprinkle, and Ash has become Sprinkle.
Anywho.
That's my
Does that mean-
greatest
does that
fear.
mean
She
it-
has not become Sprinkle yet.
Yeah,
Does
but
that mean that
Alright.
an edge is eventually going to become a lich?
Yes.
We don't talk about that.
Anyways, how long
No
does
in-game bot stuff
Yeah.
yet.
how long
Oops,
does
spoilers.
Rasmira how long does Rasmira stay in the forest?
Like couple hours past midnight. And then she comes
Alright,
back.
Garrick's still
everybody
awake.
is relatively asleep right now, so...
Garrick would
He's-
make a point to
Ellerin's
stay awake.
still up because he only needs 4 hours of sleep.
Yep, but you're in the temple.
Yeah, he's in the temple, so
And Garrick is up.
bitching to call back about a
You
stupid
mean
ass
4 hours
onesie.
of trancing.
Yeah, trans.
Whatever.
It's not
But he's
sleeping.
he's in the
He
temple
sent
right
me
now.
a message. He sent me a message about the onesie, and I'm like, no, it has to be pink with nice little pinky polka dots, and instead of the
Deacon did.
bat wings, it needs to be it needs to have like little feather wings, and then on the zipper there will be like a Pegasus.
Yeah.
He's basically in the temple bitching to Korvac about his stupid ass onesie.
Alright, anyways, Garrick is
Anyways.
awake. Garrick,
Immediately, the onesie gets changed.
Garrick makes a point to stay awake to make just to keep an eye.
He's staying awake for this entire time that she's out there.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Sounds like a Garrick.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Garrick, yeah.
He's a group dad.
He's the group dad.
He's definitely the group dad.
Yeah.
You're not my dad!
Anyways.
She's walking back, adjusting her bracers.
Garrick is just laying there, petting her.
You're still awake.
So, well, I didn't feel right not taking care of Anesh.
Come here. And she'll come to me.
Yep.
I just start petting her.
If you're wondering, she was well behaved.
You cut out.
If you were wondering, she was very well behaved. No issues.
As expected.
Talk to me.
I'm staying with you guys.
Is that what you want, truly?
Yes. I don't want to see harm coming your way. None of them. None of them.
Then that means you're gonna have to work harder than you've ever had. Ella and I can help you, but we can't do it for you. You're gonna have to devote your time to overcoming your injury.
I'm aware.
Good. So long as you are willing to put in the effort and follow through, then there's nothing. Then you're already better than most of us. Definitely better than me.
I guess so. I'm going to go find a place to rest.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you made that decision, and if you want, I can share out the bedroll. I know that it's a weird ask, but I'm tired of sleeping alone. And if you feel the same, then you're welcome to join me. Was that laughing game or out of game?
It's out of game.
I
Out
know.
of game.
I know. If not, well then, know that if you ever change your mind, the bedroll will be waiting for you. Sounded better in my head, didn't it?
You just see this perplexed look on her face. She doesn't know how to take this.
If you want to roll an insight. For the record, I mean, like, with your passive, you know he's not asking for anything, like, major.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of that, and she would be aware of that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I am absolutely exhausted. And that sounds great to me right now.
Garrick will scoot over.
Oh, first you gotta take off all her armor first, because she's not saying.
He will turn around
Yeah, that's fine.
out of courtesy.
Yeah. And then she just comes back in and lays in the bedroll with you.
Alright, now here's the question. Do you want to be, okay, what's the term? I'm trying to think of the term. I'm blanking on the term here. I'm actually blanking on the term here.
Okay.
Oh, God. When you cuddle, but, like, it's in bed, it's like...
Okay.
Spooning.
It's just
Spooning?
Spooning, yes. Do you want to be top spoon or bottom spoon? Or no
oh
spooning?
my god.
Okay.
You should have just left it
Got
blank.
I wanted to... I had to make the joke. I had to make the joke.
As you guys sleep, you guys have a pretty restful night's sleep, and by around 6:30 in the morning, you guys are woken to the sound of people moving about, not hurriedly, but just a large booming of chatter, excitement, sorrowful, sadness, upset, just a whole mixture of emotions. And Elrin, Courtney comes and wakes both you, Solus, and Korvac out.
Yes, yeah, I'm up.
Come on. We woke up a few hours ago and we're pretty much nearly packed. We gotta go get the others up and prepare to move out.
You woke up before me? I'm impressed.
We don't want to be around here for the authority. Elrin, Uncle Elrin, listen here. We don't want to be around for any other authorities who show up and question what the fuck happened here.
I agree. Well, let's get started then. As he gets up, quickly like puts on his clothes, his regular clothes, and starts helping around the camp.
She does request for you guys to meet her there, like towards the beginning of the hill, in 30 minutes, along with Evelyn and Jonathan. And
Okay.
she goes over to where Garrick and Razmir is at. Hello? Dad? Mom? You guys awake?
Brisbane is dead ass asleep.
So is Garrick. So is Garrick because literally
dead ass asleep.
In out of game meta, they need 5 more hours of sleep before they get a long rest.
Yeah.
In game, Garrick's just very comfortable and doesn't want to move.
She's really exhausted. She's not gonna wake up anytime soon.
Garrick's partly exhausted too because he did stay up late. I mean, not like super, but enough that like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you guys might be asleep a bit more. And we'll be packing up soon and getting ready to head out.
They're still asleep, so I don't think they
They're
hear
still
her.
asleep.
They're
They're
still
not.
asleep.
No.
Yeah, they are not hearing anything.
Idiots.
And Nedge comes
I'll
out,
wait for
looks up at frickin'. And Nedge comes out and she's like looking up at her.
She kind of has a surprised look on her face for a moment, and then just kind of laughs.
She's squeeing angrily.
All right, I get it.
And she's
She
like
goes and
trying.
leaves.
You know how like people how they like fake things. Like they're coming at you and they fake it. That's what she's doing. As she's squeeing at you. She's like,
I see.
get out of it!
You are very tough. You are very tough. Which was it? Fox owl, fox fly, fox. Either which way. You are a very tough creature, and I respect your.
She's nipping at the heels.
You're not going to get through the armor, but nice try. She
She
goes and walks
finds
away.
coconut.
Y'all are still asleep, so I don't
Yeah,
think you hear anything.
Yeah, we're dead, dude. They had a rough day
They're
yesterday. I
Yeah.
mean, keep in mind, you trance, we sleep. In the course of a single day, we fought an adult silver dragon, climbed a mountain, fought mutated
In the course of
Yeah.
a single day, we fought an adult white dragon. I lost an eye. We fought a couple capines. We fought a bunch of weird devils and demons. And
and then
what
a
else?
pit fiend.
And then a pit fiend.
And then we had to deal with our emotions, so forgive us if we're a
Yeah.
little tired.
Courtney goes and returns to Elrin. Same. They won't be joining us then.
Why? What's wrong?
The little
well, I
hot fuzz
assume-
just chased her off.
I assume that they are still very much asleep.
Oh, quite definitely. Besides,
I'm-
I've always heard that my father was sleep-in type of person.
He is,
Fucking
and
lazy
but he
dogs.
is. He goes, cracks his neck. He's like, I'm probably gonna die, but I got this. As he starts walking towards the tent.
Oh no!
So, Halloran, how much you want to bet that my...
Halloran,
Yeah. All right. So, how do we do this?
Halloran, how do we want to
Constitution's-
kill this motherfucker?
I'll choke him out. I'll choke him out. I'll hold him still. You stop.
No,
him.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no,
we're
no,
still-
no. Let's tell Estine something.
Yeah. Let's still. You know what? Just tell Steve.
Let's
the
tell
truth.
Steve.
Let's tell Steve the
Tell
truth.
Yeah.
He was already gonna do
I mean-
that.
Tell
he-
Estine the truth before Ellerin could tell her.
Anyways,
See, that's gonna be worse on you, buddy, because she's gonna be even more pissed that you weren't the one who told them.
Perfect.
but that's out.
That's the
But that's
plan.
out of
Okay.
game. But that's out of game.
Okay, so I know exactly how I'm gonna do this.
Oh, no.
Okay. He's
And
gonna
then she
grab
comes and sees you and she starts to squee at you.
Nope, he hasn't even gone there yet. I
Just do your thing.
I assume that it's like a closed tent, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as he's walking, he's gonna go near the food area, grab 2 pans, and he's gonna
That's a Constitution saving throw on our part.
no, what he's doing is he's going to poke his head into the tent, see that you two are still asleep, and go, all right, as he slowly sticks the pots through the tent, and then one runs away.
I'm sorry. What do you do?
He takes 2 pans, sticks them through the tent, takes them, and like
He uses them
and then
as
quickly runs
symbols to
That's
wake us up.
That's a Constitution saving throw on our part. That's simply how that works. So I guess high we stay asleep. So I'm gonna roll that. 11. So I probably.
and he just
I am
takes
still
off.
asleep, I bet, or something of the sort.
I assume I'm awake, Jacob.
What'd you roll? I'm
11.
sorry, my thing isn't wanting to.
11.
Oh no, you fucking
Wait.
awake.
He fucking books it as fast as possible.
Oh,
Can I
Riker is
roll-
still asleep, I bet.
Yeah, she rolled a 20. Can I roll a perception to see if I see him run away?
She slept through that.
Huh?
Can I roll a perception to see if I see him run away? Like 18.
Elrin, roll stealth.
Disadvantage, I might add. 'cause
Yeah,
you...
no.
With advantage.
No,
Aw,
disadvantage.
29. You're not gonna.
Yeah. Disadvantage. I would argue disadvantage because he made a loud
Such
noise.
a dick, Richard.
Yes, hold on. He made a lot of hold on. He did make a lot of noise, but you guys didn't hear him come up, so I would count that as advantage, though.
Alright, whatever.
Considering you both were asleep.
Either way, so Garrick is just gonna wake up, but he's not gonna get out of bed.
She's still there asleep. Dead ass asleep. You're such a dick, Richard.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Garrick is an intelligent person, so he knows that Solus wouldn't do this. He knows that you have a history of waking people up by pranks, so...
I'm sorry. I saw the perfect opportunity.
Courtney just looks at you. She's stifling a laugh, but she looks a little annoyed. She's like, "Dude, you're gonna get yourself killed."
That's
She
maybe.
smacks you lightly upside the head.
As he's running back. It's like, maybe.
Dumbass.
As he just he's running away.
He's just looking at you.
Yeah, Garrick... since you didn't bother
Insert
on the
Looney
follow-up...
Tunes soundtrack.
Since you didn't follow up on the, on that, Garrick's just gonna lay back in bed, knows Iris is next to him,
I don't even care.
smile, let her sleep, and just, like, close his eyes and just rest his body so he can gain the benefits of a long rest, because otherwise I'm kind of screwed.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I need the long
Oh,
rest in
God.
order
We
to get
both-
everything
Same,
back.
samesies.
Well,
And...
well then. Alright, hold on. Elrin, you're an idiot, but
I know I am, but
that
That's
ain't,
besides the
that much isn't surprising. In any case, Uncle, I guess we could go and give them about a couple more hours of rest. In any case, she goes and points towards the she kind of points towards the south, or the kind of southward a little bit, and you guys see the sun rising and oddly enough, it's rather relaxing. It's one of the most beautiful sunrise that you guys have seen.
Too bad I missed. Too bad
Well
we're missing
then,
it.
At least,
Too bad.
well
Oh
then,
well.
well then, Uncle. I suppose the fight's has only just begun.
It has, but
She goes.
whatever it is, whatever we face, we'll all face it together.
She goes along with Jonathan, kind of hook you guys all together. That's there into kind of one big kind of like group hug while you guys like not group hug, but like kind of hook you guys together one in one, just staring at the sunset. You guys have all fought through quite a bit of battles in the past couple of days and had quite a amount of eventful visits from people as well as a lot of unusual things happening. You guys have all fought well throughout. You guys have all, each and every one of you guys, along with the NPCs and the men, have all pushed through over the past week or so. Troubling times are bound to be ahead, but things are gonna look out in the end. And because of that, this brings the closing of the Thanalis arc.
Not
For now.
really.
At least the
now.
first part of it.
Yeah.
And with that,
So I guess we're not gonna have
thank you
Garrick-
all. Thank you all for tuning into tonight's session. And we will be picking up Thanalis' chapter again on a later notice.
So
or
I
on
guess,
a later time.
So I guess Garrick and Rasmussen
So,
don't wake up then. Oh well.
Everyone, have a
They
good
never
rest of your
wake
week.
up.
And we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.